Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke, together with Rev Yutaka Yamada. And today is Saturday, the 16th of August 2025, or the 23rd of June in the 13th year of Chonilguk. Thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Tunji Tampuninge, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge both in Korean and English.
가전맨세 3. 전일국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 판조권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 3. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. Thank you. And I'd like to share again the same prayer that Mother gave for missionaries back in 21st of April 1975. Heavenly Parent, whenever I look into the face of the baby, I feel cleansed inside. I feel like he's looking through to my mind. Parents can't become bad, something like that. Whenever the baby cries extraordinarily or is uneasy or is sick, I always look into myself and see what I have done wrong. The reflection always comes there. When I always feel that God is with me and is sympathetic with me. Whenever you witness to people in your homelands, you must have the heart of true parents to them. You must take care of them and know what they feel. And if you really love them in the position of true parents to them, I know you will be completely successful there. Please remember, we are always with you. Heavenly Parent and true parents are loving you so much that they can't leave you but live with you in spirit. So be confident and work hard and raise as many children as possible. Please don't forget that your Heavenly Parent and true parents are with you always, wherever you go. In true parents' name, Arju. Thank you, and let's give a warm welcome to Rev Yutaka as he shares with us. Thank you.
I think just a moment. I'll try to change the slide. It's changing already?
Yep, it changed.
Okay.
Yes.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning Hundoke. Today is Saturday, so already end of the week. How was this week? Do you have a great time? So time is nearly flying quickly, but all the time, each moment is a historical time, golden time period with together with our true mother. So let's offer the happiness and victory to our heavenly parent and true parents. So thank you for joining. So now in our movement, there are many challenging situation in Korea or in Japan or world level. But surely there is the meaning and also the heavenly parents' guidance and will So continuously offer the chanson and overcome those difficult challenges. And always we will pray for our true mother. So this chanson is also important. And soon our Shinchul missionary will visit. Still not finalized the date, but continuously let's prepare ourselves and welcome them as the representative, or they are the inheritor of heavenly blessing and love. So let's welcome well, and also to unite with our heavenly parents and true parents. So I'd like to share the photo. This is a yesterday photo. Oh, thank you for attending the Churchman prayer. This is Sydney side. Brothers and sisters, blessed families, thank you for attending yesterday. It was also good spirit. So this is Sydney, and this is New Zealand. Thank you for attending, New Zealand brothers and sisters. And Palau, always. And also Marshall Island. Thank you. And Solomon Island. So yesterday, even Reverend Kison Lee mentioned about Solomon Island gathering, right? It was also great. So thank you for all support. So our Chanshimon prayer is continuing every day. So we offer the sincere devotion, and we will create the spiritual or internal foundations through the offering and devotion. So thank you for all things. We will surely for the victory. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. Today, let's continue to study, share the word of Cheonsongyeon, the path to the kingdom of heaven. So let's continue. This slide we read yesterday, but this one was the part of same paragraph. So I will read this paragraph again. Okay, so Mrs. Na, please.
This current day is the global era. The white, black, and yellow races are three brothers. When you think about this, you may wonder, can different races truly come together and live in happiness? But there is no fighting in the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is a place where you go not according to your race, but according to your achievements in love. In chapter 5 of the Gospel of Matthew, it is written, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." Matthew 5:9. When you meet the Son of God, you feel joyful.
Yes, please continue.
But when you come face to face with the son of Satan, the longer your meeting lasts, the more fear and anxiety you feel. In this regard, your siblings are precious to you. People who live for the sake of their siblings automatically go to the kingdom of heaven. Wherever they go, they will be welcomed and recommended. Those who live for their siblings become central figures. How can you practice brotherly love that matches the standards of parents' love and the love of husband and wife? The answer to that question is the secret to realizing the kingdom of heaven on earth. In the end, this joyful giving and receiving is the key to entering the kingdom of heaven.
Yes, thank you. So Father is talking about the original world and the kingdom of heaven. So what kind of place is the place of kingdom of heaven? We can see all humanity come together even beyond the races, beyond the nationality, beyond the skin color, or any kind of things. And we are aiming to fulfill these things. So we can see there are the God children who are willing to fulfill God or parent desire. And there is also the Satan's children who are living just centering on own desire or own self. So when we see our current environment, current society, which environment is there? This is the environment for God's children or environment of the fall or satanic children. We could see many difficulty, many selfishness, many individualism, many conflict. That's why now heavenly parent and true parents are here and try to restore all the situation in order to fulfill the God's ideal of creation. And we are here also as the central figure of the heaven's providence, behalf of our heavenly parent, behalf of true parents. That's why we should once again recognize our position as a central figure and serve people, embrace and love the people and brothers and sisters. When we go through this kind of way, then finally we could build the kingdom of heaven, we could enter the kingdom of heaven. So, Father said, how can you practice brotherly love that matches the standard of parents' love and the love of husband and wife? The answer to that question is the secret to realize the kingdom of heaven on earth. In the end, this joyful giving and receiving is the key to entering the kingdom of heaven. So, if we could do the life to give for others, and of course, give and receive, if we could have those kind of life and relationship centering on true love, this is the way to build the kingdom of heaven, and we will do all these things together. Please.
How is the kingdom of heaven to be realized from now on? To realize the kingdom of heaven, we need to go beyond nationality and national boundaries and love the people of the world whom Jesus did not get a chance to love. We need to love the people of the world, transcending barriers of nation, race, and tribe. We need to love anyone and everyone, be they people from the deserts of Asia or the wilds of Africa, as if they were our own children. If people have the heart to love like Jesus from the position of an elder sister or younger brother, then they are equal to Jesus, the Son of God. And the world where such practice is universal is the kingdom of heaven on earth. Only when we go forward in such a way, again and again and again, can we enter the kingdom of heaven. Otherwise, it will be impossible.
Yes, thank you. Father said, how is the kingdom of heaven to be realized from now on? To realize the kingdom of heaven, we need to go beyond nationality and national boundaries and love the people of the world whom Jesus did not get the chance to love. So this is already answer. When we see the current society, this environment or society is not the result of God's creation or original ideal of creation. It was totally different. It was the result of the human fall. If Adam and Eve were not fallen, then what happened? Just Adam and Eve's family, or Adam and Eve's tribe, nation, and world are there, and this is the expansion of family, or this is itself would be the just the family in the world. So there should not be the even any boundary or border or separation. So when we see our current society, how many nations do we have? More than 194 nations or more than that, even try to separate more and more. So these are totally going opposite way of God's will. That's why when three parents come and share the God's will is to break down the border and to unite into one nation and one world on this place. So this is kingdom of heaven on earth, and this is the way to create the nation of Chanukuk. So Tirimada also emphasized that 8 billion people, all people should accept or welcome the heavenly parent and come down as the children of heavenly parent. So how clear goal we are having now. So in order to fulfill these things, we are going this way together, and we will also fulfill these things. So how is the kingdom of heaven to be realized from now on? Already we have a clear goal and clear aim. Please.
We need to enter the kingdom of heaven. You cannot enter the kingdom of heaven without going through the individual, family, tribe, people, nation, world, and cosmos. From the very beginning, there has been a path to the kingdom of heaven, but up to this point, not one person has entered. This is because there has not been one person who could subjugate Satan at every stage. Going through the way of the cross from the individual level to the levels of the family, tribe, people, nation, and world, thereby establishing the foundation of victory. Because Jesus could not establish such a victorious foundation when he came to earth, he too was unable to enter the kingdom of heaven, and until now he has offered his prayers from paradise.
Yes, thank you. So we can see this content is maybe a little bit the old era, because when true parents started the providence centering on the holy wedding ceremony in 1960, still environment was under the era of the restoration. So not yet the era of Chonikuk. That's why true parents invested and created the foundation from individual level or family level, or tribe, people, nation, world, and cosmic level. So this providence was called the wilderness course until end of 2012, and from 2013 the era of Choniguk has been started. That's why through this time period, the parents expanded the movement of the blessing, even including the blessing of the spirit, the spiritual world. So Jesus Christ, he himself also received the blessing, right? So already he was liberated from the paradise to the kingdom of heaven. So we can see each time period, three parents, according to the God's providence, the word would be changed, the spiritual environment or providential environment would be also changed and develop more and more. So we could see three parents led the providence of the restoration and to show the way to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth, and also the show the way to establish the kingdom of heaven in heaven. And we are here under the merit of the great victorious era. We are coming together, we are receiving the great benefit and blessing together, and we could go into kingdom of heaven together with our true parents. So we can see those development and the providential progress. Please.
Preparing a certificate with which to enter the kingdom of heaven. Since the fall took place not in God's presence, but with Satan as a subject, we need to subjugate Satan in order to free ourselves from the fallen realm. We have to be able to say, Satan, you row, since I am where I am now because I united with you, I will subjugate you and return to God. If you do not obtain the certificate that states that you subjugated Satan, you cannot receive God's love. Jesus too prevailed over the three great temptations. We cannot enter the kingdom of heaven without obtaining Satan's signature, confirming that we were historically victorious. No matter what it takes, we must obtain Satan's signature. When Jesus overcame Satan's three great temptations and triumphed, Satan acknowledged it in tears right then and there and said, "You are eternally different from me."
Yes, thank you. So what kind of position do we stand? Are we here now? All humanity are originally created as the children of God, but because of the human fall, all humanity are here as the descendants of the fall, descendants of the Satan or archangel. So when we see the current situation and environment, how strong influence of Satan is in this place. So how about your daily life? Are you having the proud or light life all the time, just according to God's will, God's heart, and to be able to live accordingly, or always there is struggling, challenging, or hatred is inside of our heart, and we are living centering on a fallen nature. So what do you think? We receive the true parent's blessing. And through the blessing, our original sin was removed. And we are standing here as the lineage of God. But still, the result of the 6,000 years human foreign history, the foreign nature, or result of those sin or problem are here. That's why we know there are four kinds of sin. Original sin was already removed, but another sin we have to remove continuously and to become the children or true son and daughters. So as true parents mentioned that we have to understand where is the enemy and we have to love and overcome. Those effort is needed and until when we will go this way? Father said, until to get the certificate signature from Satan, then we will totally be liberated. So this is also the great message, how we can embrace, how we can really become the person of God, person of the heavenly parent. So each moment is also the front line and training ground. Please.
Jesus inherited the heavenly kingdom, but he did not inherit the world. Then who inherited the world? Cain did. So the world is Cain's country. For this reason, Abel has to inherit the heavenly kingdom, and he should also receive a certificate issued and guaranteed by Cain's world to go to the kingdom of heaven. You need to obtain a certificate from Satan. Fallen people are bound by these two principles. Since they are not being resolved, history has been prolonged and repeated through the past 6,000 years. But now we have come to understand this. In the Bible, it is written, "You will know the truth, and the truth will make you free." John 8:32. As we now know the truth, we have to love, even if we have to clench our teeth. To what extent must we love? We have to love even Cain, who is our enemy.
Yes, thank you. So this is the result of human fall. In the beginning of the history, God gave everything to Adam and Eve, and they are the owner, and they are the everything. But after human fall, what's happened? Originally, they should face the reality or result of human fall, and but at that moment when God asked Adam and asked Eve about the action of the fall, what was their answer and what was their behavior? Originally, they should stand as the central position and to take responsibility, the all result. But when God asked them, they said, I'm not wrong. Everything because of Eve, because of archangel, because of snake. Because of them, because of him, everything has happened. So what meaning is this? They deny as the central figure's position, and everything, all responsibility shifted to the snake or Satan. That's why from that moment they deny or left from the position of the owner of this world. And from that moment, Satan became the king, became the God, became the owner of this world. That's why in the process of the restoration, Father many times mentioned that we have to go through the natural subjugate the Satan. So through love, we have to restore back all things to God's side. So this is also same flow, the enemy or Cain side, but we have to love and have to subjugate. So this is the cause to love and also the restoration. Please.
Christianity has passed through a history of seeking the true olive tree while pioneering a miserable destiny with countless people through the ages. The true olive tree refers to the Son of God. Once he comes, you need to receive his sap as well as a branch from him. You need to engraft yourself to that branch. When this takes place, all conditions tied up in history, all our ancestors throughout the ages who offered indemnity conditions but were caught by Satan will be resolved. You must receive the graft on the foundation, not of fertile soil or in a warm nest, but in a stony field. This is because you have to receive a certificate from Satan, confirming that you have restored the original nature that has never before existed in Satan's world, and also confirming that you can become God's child. This is not something God can do for you. If it had been up to God, he would have done everything 6,000 years ago.
Yes, thank you. So Jesus came on this earth as the child or only begotten son and as the olive tree. And what was his role or his mission? He should meet the only begotten daughter and he should become the true parents and he should restore all humanity from Satan's side to the God's lineage, restore the fallen history. That's why we can also see our current environment or situation. Who are we and how we could be connected with true parents, connected to be with true heavenly parent, and how we can fulfill heaven's will and heaven's wish. So those part or those role is also important for each of us. We will receive the blessing. And from that moment, we will also stand here as a representative of true parents and to share this word to brothers and sisters. So our Father is mentioning clearly those process. And he said, you need to engraft yourself to that branch. When this takes place, all conditions tied up in history, all our ancestors throughout the ages who offered indemnity conditions but were caught by Satan will be dissolved. You must receive the graft on a foundation, not on a fertile soil or in a warm nest, but in a stony field. This is because you have to receive a certificate from Satan confirming that you have restored the original nature that has never before existed in Satan's world, and also confirming that you can become God's child. So we have to understand that things. So do you have enemy or have you win or overcome with enemy by true love, or still enemy is existing in front of you. So this is the challenging, and this is only can be done only by our effort and our overcoming. Father said God cannot help this, the personal portion of responsibility. So the things as my responsibility or your portion of responsibility have to face them and overcome them and embrace them. So enemy, the person who you don't like, surely those persons are there. So how much, what kind of level of people can we embrace and overcome? So this is the way to restore the Satan and the way to get the certificate from Satan. Please.
It is not the judge who authorizes a release from prison. Then who can do it? It is the prosecutor who gives permission. Without obtaining the endorsement of the prosecutor's office, you cannot be released. In this court, the prosecutor is Satan. Without Satan's approval, God cannot say, "You are my child. I will save you." You have to get Satan's approval without fail. Have you received Satan's endorsement or not? You must get Satan's approval. What does the Unification Church teach? It teaches the way to obtain Satan's approval. This approval is not only spiritual, you need to receive it as a substantial being of both spirit and body.
Yes. So we should receive the approval from who? We have to receive the approval from Satan. So we have to gain these things by true love. Please.
Only when you do not go against heavenly law can you enter the kingdom of heaven. If you are barred from entry based on heavenly law, what will you do? Even members of the Unification Church cannot enter the kingdom of heaven if they have disobeyed heavenly law. All who do wrong are caught. You may dream you will go to the spirit world at the level of a divine spirit simply because you believe in the Unification Church, but that will come to nothing. Then what should you do? There is a secret method to be found here. You, the members of the Unification Church, should lay down a victorious foundation. Only then can you stand in the position of the parents.
Yes. So the condition and also the qualification to enter to the kingdom of heaven is for same for everyone. Of course, Father is emphasizing on the Unification Church members, but this qualification is of course same for all peoples. So how we will fulfill overcoming without the without breaking the heavenly law or against the heavenly law. This is important things. Three parents mentioned about the three heavenly law about the heart, the people's heart, and also the chapter 2 or the God's lineage, and also public money. So those there are heavenly law. How we can restore and also clean up and to go the next step. This is important. That's why during the true parents' lifetime, now mother is here. So during mother's time period is the special grace time period. All things should be solved during the earthly lifetime, and true parents is the one who have authority to forgive and to give the amnesty everything. That's why during this time period, how we can solve everything with true parents. This is the blessing moment and also beneficial moment. Of course, we have to overcome and solve by ourselves, but in the same time, we are already here as under the grace of true parents. So those the heavenly law, once again, seriously, we should reflect ourselves and we have to solve for the next world. Please.
Now the Unification Church will surmount the global peak. Now no one can destroy the Unification Church and no one can send me to prison. You should not just be busy with married life and having children. Instead, you should be busy preparing a certificate that will let you enter the kingdom of heaven. You do not know when you will die. You may be involved in a car accident and go to the spirit world at any moment. All kinds of things occur. You never know when, at what moment you will go to the spirit world. If the blessed families neglect this matter and go to the spirit world after simply enjoying their lives by themselves, can they stand before Reverend Moon of the Unification Church? Since blessed families are at the completion stage of the growth period, they have not yet reached the global level. Since they are in the completion stage of the growth period, they need to go beyond the world. Since there is such a process, they have to go through it.
Thank you. So you can see this word. He said, you do not know when you will die. You may be involved in a car accident and go to the spirit world at any moment. All kinds of things occur. You never know when and at what moment you will go to the spirit world. So this is exactly true. We are thinking to live on this earth until 80 years old, 90 years old, 100 years old, but nobody know our future, even our tomorrow. That's why each single moment, single day is really the crucial time of moment. So today, how about our life? Are we living centering on God's side or centering on Satan's side? All the time is the moment of the battle or separation to go to the God side or Satan side. That's why how we can fulfill, and especially three parents mentioning about the current providential issue, how we can fulfill God's providence together during this time period. So we should understand and also together. Okay, please.
Are you busy getting married? Busy managing your household or busy making preparations to go to the spirit world? We should lead our lives so as to be in the rhythm with the spirit world. All people need to live in rhythm with the spirit world. When you members of the Unification Church go to the spirit world, you will find that the conditions I have taught you are inscribed on the gates, and you will be asked certain questions. Everything I have taught you to this day is written there as the conditions of entry. If you cannot answer correctly, you will not be able to go in. You will have to wait somewhere in the intermediate level of the spirit world. In that place, you will have to wait for me to arrive in the spirit world.
Yes, thank you. So we have to remember those words. So what kind of life are we having during the lifetime on this earth? So when we fulfill the things, we can everything decoded. If we are not fulfill the things, also it will be decoded. That's why when we go to the spiritual world, everything will be opened. Then we will meet also through parents that place, right? How we can meet our true father, how we can meet true mother, heavenly parent, all spiritual world. So those things is happening in the next world. So we have to see, reflect well. So this is the final slide today, please.
We need a nation. There are many nations, but the nation we are moving toward is a different one. It is God's nation. You cannot enter this heavenly nation without receiving a new certificate of citizenship in that nation. Satan cannot accuse those with such with such certified citizenship, no matter how hard he tries, through east, west, north, and south, or through the past, present, and future.
Yes, thank you. That's why we need a nation. Still, we don't have a substantial nation under God or under Heavenly Parent or Heavenly Parent's sovereignty. That's why still there are many satanic environment or foreign environment, and still there are many kind of battle. So this is the serious mission and the providential course to restore all humanity in front of our Heavenly Parent and to parents. So there is no nation and how people can be registered. So of course, internally or spiritually, three parents proclaimed the nation of Chanikuk. So of course, we have to register the nation of Chanikuk, and in the same time, we have to restore the nation substantially. So Heaven Unified Korea, Heaven Unified World, and national restoration, those providential goal is still here together. So we will totally unite with Heavenly Parent and True Parents with True Mother and fulfill these things together. So today we share the word of Cheonseongyong and connect it with spiritual world. So this spiritual world issue is directly connected to our life or our daily life. So reflect ourselves, prepare well, and let's go to the great place of the spiritual world future. So thank you for everyone to join today's morning Hondoke. Have a great time. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you very much, Rev Yutaka, for sharing, as always, and just reflecting on the words today, that we're in this era where we go to heaven according to our achievements, and we really need to live a life for the sake of others, and really need to have the same heart of love like Jesus, to love those that even Jesus could not love because he wasn't able to be here on earth long enough to do that. But the thing that struck sort of me today was the thought of we are all siblings, and I thought, wow, that's really interesting. I was reflecting on a conversation I had with a group of second gen some weeks back, and we were talking about parents and friends, and I said, do you think you should be your parent should be your friend? And some of the second gen said no. My parent shouldn't be my friend. And then other second gen said, oh, I think parents can be your friend. For me personally, I was thinking, I think my son and daughters should become my best friends. So I found it interesting, this thinking about friendship, because if we're really one family, we're all Heavenly Parents' children, and then thereby we're all in the same family, and so everyone's my brother and sister, could be my parent or uncle or auntie. So as one family, we're all connected, and then I started to think, well, my wife is my sibling. I mean, because Adam and Eve were siblings, and they were to grow up and to become parents, and then create the kingdom by natural expansion. And when we go to spirit world, we are in our prime, and so we're all the same. We're all brothers and sisters, and we know that God is my parent. God's not my grandparent. God's my parent. So if God is always our parent in every generation, that means everyone in every generation is my sibling. And I thought, oh, my parent is my sibling. My grandparent is my sibling. My children and my grandchildren are my siblings. So everyone is one family. And I just thought, in heaven, we are all siblings to each other. And if we really sort of had that in our heart, and we experience, loving our brothers and sisters and parents and children as our own family, then it's so easy to realize that, oh, there is no difference in race or religion or nation or culture, because we're all children of our heavenly parents. So we're all siblings. And so I just was thinking today, how true that is, because with our siblings, they are our first friends, because we grow up with them, and then we can connect. And so I was just thinking, wow, if we understood that deeply, we really are, the same family of heaven, and we are brothers and sisters to each other, and not just from the direct brother-sister line, but even parents and grandparents and children and grandchildren are all, our siblings. Then it bridges the gap between all generations and people and races. So anyway, I was just sort of thinking like that this morning about the notion of how, we are all siblings. So yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts this morning, and open up to anyone else who'd like to share. So thank you. Yes, Nah, go ahead.
Well, I guess it depends on culture, but for me, that saying like siblings is like you still have your parental figure, and you still have your elders, and like older in age than you, but everybody else younger than you are your children, and the same, and people of your same age are siblings. So then you have that view, everybody in the world at your age are your siblings. At the same time, maintaining younger ones are your children, nieces or nephews, and you still have your, grandparents and parents. So yeah, I can understand some kids, some second gen saying that your parent can't be your friend because they're, of course they can be close in heart, but they have a position of a parent. But yeah. I mean, like I grew up with my grandparents, so I have a very close affinity with older people wherever I go, like on the street, and I can relate easily with older people. So yeah, in that way, it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, Father taught us that naturally we should be thinking in that way, that we are one family, children, doesn't matter. That's why we should be looking after each other, each other's children in our movement, because we are a family. Naturally, we should be siblings. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Jeff, got your hand up. I need to unmute, sorry.
Thanks, John. So if we all, all human beings have God as our parent, does that mean two parents also have God as their parent? And okay, then, so then our two parents, our siblings.
Well, we're supposed to be brothers in Christ, aren't we?
Okay, no, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, I'm just trying to straighten up the theology really, because this is quite important for some, because are the true children the siblings of true parents? And do they have equal say? Because there should always be a subject-object relationship. Someone always, even on earth, surely there has to be a subject-object. And parents, you know, because we come from our parents, they are automatically in the subject position. And we cannot be subject over our parents. I'm only just brainstorming here, because there are quite complicated things going on in our community, in the world, about the true children, and trying to take subjectivity over true parents. And so, yeah, this is, anyway, it's interesting to try to figure out the theology. It's all well and good being friends, you know, like a democracy. Everybody's equal, but it's not the ideal, you know. Are we working towards a theocracy, you know, where God is always subject and parents are always subject, you know? Of course, in the fallen world, yeah, maybe that's different. Maybe kids have to take subjectivity over parents, just like Jesus took subjectivity over his ancestors, Abraham. Before Abraham, I was, you know. So there's a lot of little complex things, but it's hard to know which side we are on, which side of theology, which side of the providence we are on. Our true parents, and subject over all of us, including their own children. Anyway, just some thoughts, really. Thank you.
Yeah, very good thoughts. Thank you. I think Chris first and then Marie after that. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, morning, everyone. To me, these things are all a progression. And Father said several things. One quite profound thing he said was, why don't we call God grandfather? And when you think about it, we really should have a denomination for, okay, we call him one God, highest God and all that, but we say great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather. Well, God is the oldest grandfather. So why isn't there a 1000th great-grandfather designation? And the answer Father gave was because God wants us all to be equal with him. So when you're equal, there's no parent-child, right? So that's the highest progression, to be equal with God. And then coming down from there, you've got things like when, I forget who it was now, came here and was teaching about ancestor liberation. Sunghan Lee was writing his book in the spirit world, and he was conveying messages to, who's the lady who came? I forgot now. While she was in the Sydney Peace Embassy. Gil-Jassa, I think, yeah. And she, in the book, she quotes, he was driving me crazy. You know, leave me alone. I've got enough work to do already. And she complained to God, get this guy off my back. He's driving me nuts. And God's answer was, he's my son. I don't want to tell him what to do. So at that level, he was considered his true son and in to make his own decisions. So it just indicates to me that there's a whole range of levels of things we go through. And we all know that Father said for husbands and wife have to go through the sister stage, the brother stage, the sister stage, the wife stage. So anyway, that's my view about it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Yes, Marie, go ahead.
Yes, as once again, the thing that jumped out at me the most was about the national boundaries. Father said we need to go beyond nationality and national boundaries and love the people of the world. So it brought me back to the little conversation that came up a couple of days ago where I was protesting United States border policies. And I did a quick fact check to respond to some of the comments that had been made by others regarding drug trafficking. And in fact, 77% of people sentenced on federal drug trafficking crimes in 2018 were US citizens. So it's a domestic problem. It's not an immigrant problem, the drug trafficking. In fact, most immigrants are just families that are fleeing violence and poverty. But I guess my main point is being so anti-immigrant, it's not heavenly. It's not what Father would have wanted. It's not what Mother would want, because we have to love the people of the world. So it worries me. It seems like this current US administration is looking to be on the wrong side of history. It's not going in the direction of heaven, it's going the opposite direction. Anyways, yes, sorry, it's probably not wise to get too political, but it's always the thing that bugs me. So forgive me if I'm being overly political, but Father keeps bringing it up in his speeches, so you can blame him.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Is there something there?
Yes, Nick, go ahead.
The trafficking of the drug is going big way through the border with the cartel, and the other one is the trafficking of children. There's about maybe 100,000 children being loose in America through the cartel, being used by them as a children prostitute and so on, and being rigged by the cartel to pay back money to cross the border. There's an enormous thing going on there, going through the borders. It's been this absolute disaster. So it's all connected to the cartel, trying to take over America, actually, in the society, even suburbs and of America, to do their dirty work with drugs and with trafficking, child trafficking, and all kind of stuff. So it's a huge problem, has to be handled up with very seriously on the border.
Yeah. Yes, Marie. Yeah.
Well, I've lived in America for 30 years and mostly in California, and I've never ever seen what Jean is talking about. I think this is a conspiracy theory. So I'd like to see some documentation.
Well, you can see it everywhere on the media nowadays, everywhere. 30 years ago is very different from now. In the past 4 years especially, it's been an absolute disaster since Biden was in power. It is all known. This is an absolute fact in America. Everybody knows it.
Yes, Rev Yutaka.
Okay, so anyway, we are now on the restoration period and to really bring down the ideal things. That's why how we can welcome the heavenly parent, true parents as the parent. So this is really one of the issue. So really, I don't know, because in the beginning I didn't catch so much, but true parents is only one pair of the parents, and all humanity, including children, everyone is children. So we have to settle clearly this order. Otherwise, there is no order in the future level. So really, father and mother only a parent, and all children, grandchildren are same with siblings, right? So we have to settle and share our America, politics, everything, because no order, that's the problem. So we have to really settle well. Okay, thank you everyone. Your involvement and your sharing. There are so many issues, but really have to solve together this matter. So let's try our best. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, everyone. So let's offer our unison prayer together. I'll just bring up the screen. There it is. Okay, and let's pray together. Thank you. Jew. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Rev Yutaka, for sharing, and I hope everyone has a great day, and see you all again tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Day two.
Bye.
Bye.